As we know by now, the Boston Bruins are expected to have a very busy offseason and do anything they can to look for that number one center they desperately need. And a new report has revealed an absolutely insane possibility that the Boston Bruins may go after a NHL superstar. So I'll be talking about that in this video, what the actual odds are of this happening, as well as some other things that could relate to this down the line. But like I said, we're going to talk about that here in this video. Before we do, though, we know that 81% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your Boston Bruins news throughout this offseason, and with a very busy one that we have coming up, you're going to want to hit the sub button. I'll be posting you guys every video, keep you guys updated with everything that this team has to offer. But like I said, let's get into this absolutely crazy report. And as you can see, I really have no words to describe what this would mean and how this would affect the Boston Bruins, other than just absolutely insane. Now, I'm sure you know who this is by the thumbnail. That's Leon Draisaitl. This comes from a report from George Laraque, who said this 3 weeks ago. Said on the French radio and TV in Quebec, he floated the idea of Leon Draisaitl becoming a Boston Bruin. Speaking on BPM Sports 91.9 FM in Montreal, Laraque reported that Draisaitl is interested in playing for the Boston Bruins if he does not sign an extension with the Edmonton Oilers. Now, we know that Leon Draisaitl's extension possibility really relies on these playoffs, which tells how big of a series this is going to be here for Edmonton and the rest of the playoffs as well. And we know that Leon Draisaitl's contract is expiring next season, after next season. So that really means the Edmonton Oilers are put into a pretty tough situation where they either have to sign him into an extension or wait until next year and see what happens until the deadline. Now, you know that the Edmonton Oilers are going to be all out trying to get an extension going for Leon Draisaitl. However, there are some more reports here from this one saying that, ironically enough, this is from the same article, by the way, a source who knows Draisaitl recently brought the topic of Draisaitl joining the Boston Bruins, and I believe this is a separate one from George Laraque. Now, while this source did not indicate one way or another if Draisaitl would sign an extension with the Oilers, he did divulge one interesting nugget connecting the Bruins and the German superstar, and then he goes on to say that these playoffs are really going to be a very big deciding factor for Leon Draisaitl, whether he will sign an extension or not with the Oilers. Now, I'm going to pull up Leon Draisaitl's stats. I know I don't have to, because I would say just about everybody watching this video knows how good Leon Draisaitl is. 3 seasons of the past seasons with over 100 points, and he would have been on pace to have it in the 2020-2021 season as well, pretty much going back for 6 seasons. So realistically, he's the guy you want, the guy you need on any team. Now, is this possible? I'm thinking yes. Is it likely? I think no. You know, I think those are the safe way to say it regarding both sides. And once again, I will pull this article, the beginning of the article up here, that it is George Laraque. And I don't know what George Laraque is doing now, to be honest with you. I don't know if he's an analyst or, you know, an insider. I don't know if that is coming from a source that he has on the inside, or if that's just coming from his own ideas or whatnot. But either way, the fact that a former NHLer is saying this has some value to it, you know, and that nobody is shutting it down immediately, which is a really big thing for the Bruins here. Now, I know there's a lot of people going to be calling this bogus, and I'm probably going to be one of them when this kind of settles in, when this gets put in the back of the mind and thought about a bit. But the Bruins do have a very good opportunity to do this with a secret weapon that they actually have. And this is one that, at this point, is going to have a big impact on no matter who they go out to sign, no matter who, they try and get here. That's David Pastrnak. This article continues to say this here. According to this source, Draisaitl works out with the Bruins superstar winger David Pastrnak in Prague each offseason, and the two have become friends. In his final media availability session of the season, this past Sunday, Pastrnak told reporters he is ready to help Bruins general manager Don Sweeney, who has $20.5 million in cap space to use this offseason, recruit players to come play for Boston. And, this is a very good sign that what we're seeing here is that David Pastrnak is ready, as he always is. He wants to win, and he's using everything in his power to recruit more players to try and join this team and be an enticing move to play with a lot of the talent that this team offers. But other than a Leon Draisaitl opportunity, or the chance of at least signing him, we really have two options. And that is, like I said, either a signing that we will see next offseason, or I think this one's a very interesting one, and what would be more likely would be if the Edmonton Oilers end up not being good next year. You lose a few tough games, don't get the wins they want, nothing really goes their way, and by the trade deadline, they're not in a playoff spot, or far away from a playoff spot. I can see the Edmonton Oilers trading Leon Draisaitl to get a return and not let him walk, especially if they don't win the cup this year. They lose out in this round, then they go on to absolutely stink next year. That really will tell Leon Draisaitl that he don't want an extension. This team seems to have done it all that they can offer to be able to get a Stanley Cup, with those two being Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and that there's no hope with this. We do have Linus Ullmark who could get traded. However, that would really just kind of be the opposite thing that Leon Draisaitl wanted. Is he wants a goalie, he wants help for this team, and as anybody would. And he'd be going to the Boston Bruins. Now, like I said again, I don't know how possible this is. I think it certainly could happen. Is it likely? No. That's no surprise by anybody. Leon Draisaitl, you're going to have to pay a lot to get him, and I think the Bruins know that. But let's move on to some more realistic options and a replacement for Leon Draisaitl, we'll say. I do have this from Sporttrack.com, I believe. You can go and see all the contracts from any sports. And I pulled up the pending UFAs that we have here. Just some of the top under contract right now. As you can see, we obviously have the guy that a lot of us want in Steven Stamkos to help this team win now. We need that number one center. Steven Stamkos can absolutely do that. He can play the wing if need be. He can be on the defense and the power play. He's just an absolute perfect fit for this Boston Bruins team. But then it goes down. You have Sam Reinhart, who's going to be getting a lot of money, and I think is out of the Bruins' range. Although, obviously, would be an excellent addition. Jake Guentzel, again, I think is not really going to be available for the Bruins. I'm sure he's going to probably re-sign with the Hurricanes if they can make that happen. But if not, he's going to be an interesting one to look at. Another one there is Teuvo Teravainen. I think that this would be a pretty interesting signing. Kind of the same as Martin Necas on the trade. There's just a lot of options that you have from the Carolina Hurricanes due to their whole contract situation. But one guy who's not on this list that we've spoken about a lot here on this channel is Elias Lindholm. I think that he's going to be the other option that if they can't get Steven Stamkos, they're going to go after him, or vice versa. I think it's going to be at least one of the two, either signing with Boston or being close. We know Sweeney's going to be heavy this offseason trying to get a center. He's, said that that's one of their top needs, along with potentially moving Linus Ullmark. And either way, I'm excited to see what the Bruins do. Draisaitl, if it were to happen, and if it is happening, and I'll put this right here on record, in video, if the Bruins end up getting Leon Draisaitl, I will go to Germany. I will film in Germany going to watch a German hockey league game. And you can put that on record. If it ever happens, you'll have it here. Bring it back to me when it does, if it does, and let me know, and we'll have a video going to Germany, watching a hockey game. So you heard it here first, but if this happens, I'll be in disbelief. But the Bruins have a lot of options, as you've seen by those contracts. So let me know what you think about Leon Draisaitl. Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's going to happen? And what do you think the odds are, if at all? So that's all I got here in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. I'll be keeping you up to date with the Boston Bruins news. You know the deal. We're going to have a busy offseason, and I want you guys to join me here. We're going to have a lot of fun, but that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.